What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. The game is still on. 5 minutes and 27 seconds left, but we all know the game is over. Um, this is what I expected. This is exactly what I expected today. The Giants are incredibly banged up on offense and on defense, going against the best team in the league, and they've already kind of shown that they're just not in that class of even the second tier of teams in the NFL. I just don't think the Giants are up there. So they've already kind of shown that. So I wasn't surprised today. Daniel Jones today, 18 for 27, 169 yards passing, 26 yards rushing, two touchdowns, one on the ground, one in the air. As Boston Scott cuts back against the Giants, and he's probably going to end up scoring. But Jalen Hurts today, 217, two touchdowns, 77 yards rushing. Miles Sanders, 17 carries for 144 yards rushing, two touchdowns. Um, AJ Brown, 70 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, 64 yards and a touchdown. If you showed me these stats, I would not be surprised before this game. Pretty much everything I thought would happen has happened. Pretty much everything. So it is what it is. Um, I'm not sure if I'm that angry because we just don't have the horses. We don't have the horses. I'm not angry at coaching this week because we just don't have the horses. There's nothing that the coaching staff could have done, in my opinion, that would have made this game just so much more competitive. As I'm talking to, Tyrod Taylor got sacked and fumbled the ball from his blind side, which for the people that want to talk about this guy fumbling the ball, most quarterbacks, if you have uncontested pressure coming from their blind side, they're probably going to fumble the ball. It's just that simple. Not even that I'm saying that this guy is off the hook because 169 yards, it's just more of the same. I mean, Dable, Kafka, they don't trust them to throw the ball down the field. They don't trust the offensive line because the offensive line is bad. All of a sudden, it's bad in pass pro. The last month of the season has just been bad. Andrew Thomas at the beginning of the season was flawless. He gave up a couple of pressures today. He gave up a sack today. Evan Neal gave up a sack, gave up a ton of pressure today, even though he's been improving lately. And I'll give him some grace because he's a rookie. But besides those guys, not Evan Neal, but Mark Glowinski has just gotten bad. John Feliciano has gotten worse too, but Mark Glowinski, for some reason, went from a solid vet who got beat by, like, if you're playing against the best in the game, he might give up a couple of plays, but now he's just bad on a play-to-play basis. He's just gotten worse and worse as the season has gone along. I'm guessing this dude is dealing with some kind of injury. For his sake, hopefully he's dealing with an injury because, and Boston Scott, of course, gets into the end zone for the Eagles. It it's a tradition for Boston Scott. Eagles are going up 48-14 right now. 48-14. And they weren't even trying to throw the ball down the field. They just ran it. They ran it and got about 30 something yards with Boston Scott. So, um, I guess some eventful things that happened today. Their punter got their punt block. Ellison Smith. Hello. Ellison Smith showed up today. I've been waiting for this dude, Ellison Smith, to show up, and he showed up and blocked the punt. I was thinking that he's been a guy that can block punts and block field goals. He's 6'6". He's athletic. He's strong. All of that stuff. So he blocked the kick today. That was good to see. Um, we got that ball back, and that's how we put our first 7 on the board. Our second 7 was our first drive out of the first half. In the third quarter, we went right down the field, no issue. Beautiful drive, and there was no more of that. We had another drive that was really good, but we just couldn't convert there. We couldn't stop the run all day, which again doesn't surprise me. Our linebackers are piss poor. The defensive line was undisciplined all day. It just is what it is, and I say this a lot with this team. When you got all these guys out on injury, it's only so much that you can expect from the team, especially against the best team in the entire league. There's only so much that you can do. There's only so much you can do. You got Adore Jackson out. Okay, that's huge. You got Xavier McKinney out, that's huge. You got Dane Belton out. You got and this isn't me making excuses, Eagles fans. Calm down. This isn't me making excuses because I think the Eagles win by over 15 points, regardless of who's out there. But when you have all of those guys out and you're playing against an elite team, it is going to look like this 48-14. You make all these mistakes against a team that's good, you're going to lose big. And this is why I tried to tell people. They're like, it's a division game, anything can happen. That is very true. Very true. But at the same time, these teams are in different leagues. Division or no division, these teams are in very different leagues. And it showed. It showed. I mean, we got number 8 here. He's not getting it done. He's also not been given the opportunity to take over. So he's not going above the X's and O's within his own play to just take over and just cover up all of these issues. So they don't believe in him for whatever reason. He hasn't, gone above and beyond to just make them believe in him. So we don't have a guy at quarterback. So if you don't have a guy, you got to have a great team. You got to have a great team around him. No alpha wide receiver. Kenny Galladay played a little at the beginning, and then he disappeared. He never came back. Uh, Wandale was looking like he might, be a guy that the defense had to account for. Then he tears his ACL. Literally, the catch he goes over 100 yards, he tears his ACL. So you're missing way too many people. You just gotta hope that next week they can get a win, and you just gotta hope Adoree Jackson can come back after that. Again, this isn't a game that surprised me, so I'll give a couple of props to a couple of guys that were unsung heroes or just guys that I just want to give props to because they're in horrible positions. As I move this mic a little bit close, um, Darius Slayton, I mean, he had that one long catch, 37-yard catch. Uh, Props to Darius Slayton just this last month of the season for stepping up. He's not a number one receiver. I think at his best he can be a number two, but he's just not a number one wide receiver. He was going against Bradbury and Darius Slay today. He's just not that guy that's a number one wide receiver. Um, Richie James made catches all day long over the middle of the field, so give him props. These guys are not. These guys are outperforming their expectations, and these guys are being put in positions to make every single play that you would expect from all-star caliber players, all pro caliber players, players that are starters, players that are vets, players that are established at being good at the pro level. You got these guys out here playing snaps like this, and they're just not those guys. Darius Slayton, Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins with his second touchdown in the last 2 weeks. Bellinger had to go out again because Daniel Jones threw him a hospital pass, which I can't really blame him because his offensive line had him getting hit the same way that Daniel Bellinger got hit when he got hit. So Bellinger is out, but he caught all his passes, 3 targets, 3 catches. As Tyrod Taylor gets sacked, the Giants have given up probably like 6 or 7 sacks or more. Brightwell stepped up a little today, made a couple of nice plays. Uh, let's look on defense. Pinnock continues. I mean, this guy had 9 tackles today. He continues to look like a player to me. He looks. I mean, if we got to keep this guy as a third or fourth safety, I'm feeling good. He's looking like a player to me. He's made a lot of solid tackles. Jalen Smith again stepped up. I don't expect this guy to be a great guy in coverage. I don't expect him to be elite in the run game anymore. But he's making plays here and there, and he's stepping up. He's doing what he has to do. I mean, he shouldn't be in this position again. Uh, Same thing, Fabian Moreau. This guy is a third cornerback at best. He's at best. He was solid at number two, but in reality, he should not be out there as your starter. Zion Gilbert, same thing. Cordell Flott, same thing. I'm just giving props to these people because they have no business out there. No business out there. This is going to be a huge task for Joe Shane to flip this roster around. We need corners. We need wide receivers. We need interior offensive linemen. We need linebackers badly, big time. Big time, we need those positions. And then we might need another one of these guys. And if we need another one of these guys, we're going to need to draft one in the first 2 or 3 rounds. Unless we're taking, I think that probably comes in the first 2 or 3 rounds. I think that's fair. Um, so a lot of holes to fill. It's just all up to Joe Shane to see how quickly he can fill it through the draft and supplement it with free agency. I think you probably can get guards in free agency, low cost, that are solid guards, that are less risky than rookie guards. I think you can do the same thing, maybe with second, third, fourth cornerback. But you need to get you a dog at cornerback, and you need to get you a dog at wide receiver. That's just non-negotiable at this point. Saquon Barkley, again, let me read off Saquon's stats. 9 carries, 28 yards. The dude isn't healthy, first of all. He got ran into the ground. All of that energy that he had, where he was saying stay on that side of the table, where everybody was celebrating him. And this isn't me blaming Saquon in the slightest bit, but all of that energy that he had is gone. He got ran into the ground. All his energy is gone. I mean, the team was on his back. He's got neck issues now. He's not healthy. He's not right. I see the guy get the ball sometimes and just fall down. He's not right. And this goes back to a lot of people that think we just don't need to pay him. I don't think we need to pay this guy. If he can be taken out of the game that easily, it's just no need for this. I mean, he hasn't gotten like 60 yards in a month. So you guys let me know what you thought of this game. I'm not surprised. I'm not upset. I'm upset that we lost to the Eagles, but I'm not upset that we lost to a 12-1 team that they're going to be right now, who just sacked us again. Their defensive line is crazy, and this is their backups. So yeah, I mean, what I expected. Let's pack it up. Get ready for Washington next week. We win that game. We're in a good spot. Beat Washington, beat Indianapolis, get to 9 wins. Let the chips fall where they may. Maybe Minnesota's a winnable game. So thank you 546. I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully Seattle loses. That'll help us in a playoff seeding, but I don't think we need to be worrying about playoffs right now.